Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today we discuss Abaddon the Despoiler and his Black Crusades, what they achieved, and how Abaddon fooled the galaxy. No real need for a spoiler warning today, so let's just waste no time and jump straight in. Now, Abaddon's Crusades are common knowledge to virtually every fan of the 40k universe. However, I really wanted to touch on them briefly today, because the development we have seen with them over the years has truly performed wonders for the character of Abaddon, taking the title of Despoiler, and in many ways making it eclipse all others. In the grim darkness of the 40k universe, there is only war. It is everywhere, constant. There are countless worlds across the Imperium battling for their very survival with every waking moment. The reality of that knowledge would terrify any Imperial citizen, most likely into madness. The truth is though, the Imperium can handle it, without even noticing for the most part. So vast is the Emperor's empire, the machine simply continues to run. But then there's those true threats, the forces or situations that arise that are so formidable in their scope, they demand attention. The Wars of Gazkul, the Tyranid Hive fleets, and maybe most feared of all, the Black Crusades of Abaddon. 12 times Abaddon led his crusades of vengeance, and 12 times the Imperium thought they'd won. They faced the corrupted traitors and sent them packing, back to the jail of the Eye of Terror. They believed they were safe. They believed wrong. With Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade, only then did the horrifying truth become clear. Abaddon had looked the galaxy in the face, and he had fooled them all. That is beyond legendary. With each Black Crusade Abaddon launched, despite the Imperium only turning them back at great cost, Abaddon in truth completed a vital objective, a step towards his ultimate ambition. During the first Black Crusade, Abaddon launched his first large-scale assault around the system of Cadia. He used the cover of this devastation to enter the crypts below the Tower of Silence on the world of Uralan. There he acquired the infamous demon sword known as Drachnien. With his second crusade, the Bellis Corona sector felt the War Master's wrath, as Abaddon's forces devastated shipyards across the sector. Successfully falling the Imperium into this naval battle, Abaddon and his Terminator elite infiltrated and destroyed the Inquisition stronghold on Nemesis Tessera, freeing its demonic prisoner. The Third Crusade saw Abaddon unleash a vast demonic assault against the Cadian Gate, tying up the Imperial forces, whilst he personally led the attack on the shrine world of Gerstal. There he destroyed St. Gerstal's tomb, counteracting the prophecy of him raising from death, becoming a true saint of the Emperor. With the Fourth Crusade, the Black Legion decimated the citadel of the Cromarch, wiping out the ancient bloodline and leaving the world of Elfanor a ruin. His Fifth Crusade saw Abaddon ravage the entire Elysia sector, ending millions of lives across dozens of worlds, even completely annihilating 2 whole chapters of Adeptus Astartes, the Warhawks chapter and the Venerators. The Sixth Crusade saw Abaddon once more react to prophecy, working with the former Sons of Horus warband, the Sons of the Eye. Abaddon obliterated the Forge World of Arcrioth, before betraying the leader of the Sons of the Eye, Dreekarth, in one stroke forcing the warband into the Black Legion, and in the other eliminating a future enemy. The Seventh Crusade was the Ghost War, a campaign of cat and mouse. Ultimately, Abaddon would virtually annihilate the legendary Blood Angels chapter upon the world of Makan, leaving the Sons of Sanguinius on the brink of extinction. The Eighth Crusade at first seemed to have no plan, a confusing scattering and myriad of different attacks. It was in truth, however, a coordinated slaughter in honour of Tzeentch, through whose power the monoliths of Tychus would melt. The Ninth Black Crusade would cause carnage for over 17 years, as Abaddon's schemes took over the worlds of Anticanus IV and the naval powerhouse of Cancephalus. With the Imperial Navy eliminated, Abaddon's sorcerers got to work across the sector. The 10th Crusade saw Abaddon striking a deal with Perturabo. Using the Primarch's warp route out of the Eye, the combined force would ravage the Helica sector, specifically assaulting the Medusan system, home of the Iron Hands chapter. Though the chapter would survive, it cost them greatly to do so, scouring many of their own worlds within the system. Abaddon and Perturabo would leave with invaluable knowledge of the Imperium's defences, knowledge that would come to play within the 13th Crusade. The 11th Crusade appeared to be a bit of an anomaly, with the War Master's forces emerging directly in the path of an Orc war, leading to months of fighting upon the world of Reloria. However, Abaddon would use the Greenskins' psychic powers in a demonic ritual to weaken the borders between the Immaterium across the system. The 12th Crusade would be one of the most infamous, the Gothic War, ending with Abaddon escaping with 2 Blackstone fortresses. And finally, as we all know, it would all build to the 13th, the fall of Cadia, and the culmination of all Abaddon's efforts. For all the brilliance of the Despoiler's plans, for all the devastation and carnage he had unleashed with each war, for each objective he accomplished, there was always an overarching ambition to weaken the borders between the material world and the Immaterium. Throughout each of those 12 Black Crusades beforehand, Abaddon quietly and unknowingly to the Imperium was eradicating and destroying the Blackstone pillars. Nothing was left to chance, and nothing was left undone. Abaddon secured every step beneath the mask of senseless war and slaughter, and the naive Imperium bought it hook, line and sinker. So preoccupied were they with the fighting, with the destruction, that they never stopped to look at the wider picture, the reasons why Abaddon may be there, how it may have linked in to the rest of his campaigns, just what he may have been doing away from the slaughter. Outside the lore, I think this undoubtedly has to go down as the best retcon of all time, or at least lore development if we're not going to class it as a retcon. Taking Abaddon from that stereotypical villain, yelling he'll get them next time as he retreats with each crusade, to actually having him achieving exactly what he set out to do. Being smart enough to play the long game, and embracing the legionary within. To be revealed as someone who had been underestimated all along. It took Abaddon from being a successor to Horus as War Master to being the outright War Master of Chaos himself. Abaddon is no longer in Horus's shadow, and as much as I love the Primarchs, Abaddon deserves that. He really does. The change of storyline to having Abaddon achieved exactly what he wanted with each crusade was an absolute masterstroke. Immediately, in one fell swoop, it took Abaddon from being seen as a loser to being seen as the one true threat. Abaddon poses a greater risk than the Silent King, than the Tyranids. He alone has brought the galaxy to the brink of ruin. As we know, it would be Belisarius Cawl who would uncover the truth of Abaddon's plans. Unfortunately, too little too late for Cadia, but it's undoubtedly left us in a current golden age of lore. The galaxy torn asunder, the forces of the ruinous powers bestriding the galaxy like never before. Abaddon's grand scheme now moving on to his next step, and unknown ambition. Seen as the threat he deserves to be. And we have the galaxy desperately trying to counteract his schemes. Cawl is investigating the Necron pylons across the galaxy, desperately trying to find a way to reverse the flood of the warp. The Silent King is already working to do so himself, having to fight off the Imperium at the same time. And even the returned Primarch Rabute Guilliman is left guessing on when and where Abaddon will strike next. Unsure if he wants to rule the Imperium or simply destroy it. When you leave a Primarch like Rabute Guilliman guessing, you are doing something right. And now we enter the Arcs of Omen campaign, where Abaddon's next grand victory could just occur. Will it be the one on the surface, however? Or, as the 13 Black Crusades of Abaddon have shown us, will there be a deeper ambition that's left unseen? But as always everyone, what do you think? Do you feel the adaptation to Abaddon's Crusades secretly being victories was the best lore development we have ever seen? Do you feel it has single-handedly placed Abaddon as the villain of the galaxy, as he was always supposed to be? Has he supplanted Horus in doing so? Has his reputation as War Master of Chaos eclipsed the one of Lupercal? And considering Abaddon's secret plans beneath the surface of his crusades, could there be a wider objective now? With all his latest actions, Vigilus, Nakmund, and now the Arcs of Omen. Even if it appears Abaddon is being stymied on each objective, is there maybe a link we have yet to notice? Will this all unravel the same way as his crusades? As always everyone, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. With that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.